Welcome to Quips and Crits, another 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. In today's show, you will hear variant rules such as honor and madness checks, playable NPCs, proficiency dice, and brutal critical fails. Our talented cast of players are Sarah, playing Tribute the Tiefling Paladin.
I don't know what color Tribute blushes because she's already pink. That was definitely happening when she left Saywood's office.
Katie, playing Talos the Half-Orc Cleric.
Talos is actually kind of afraid of ghosts. Thank God he's a cleric and can turn undead.
Ransford, playing Breeze the Tabaxi Bard.
You went for a swim?
Yes.
How'd it go?
That's not the party.
I'm sorry.
Alex, playing Nikos the Eladrin Warlock.
Brace myself a bit, and I just lean over and I just let it go out. It's just like, I'm gonna have to do that again sometime.
Emily, playing Cass the Half-Elf Fighter.
Well, since I have heroism, I feel like I'm not really thinking about beating a child.
And Courtney, playing Adela the Water Genasi Druid.
Don't quite care, I guess. I'm Adela.
I'm Dan the DM.
That was just straight rum. I mean, I enjoy it, but I was not prepared for that to just be a mouthful of rum.
Let's get back to the game.
Between the three of you, you can find all of the missing digits.
Oh, thank God.
They seem to be burned, but they don't seem to be beyond repair. So it looks like they could be, if they were somehow either medically or magically, they can be reattached.
Would lesser restoration do it?
No, it would not.
Hey man, I was just hoping.
Doesn't greater restoration like regrow limbs, or is that something else?
Breeze?
Regeneration.
Madness check.
Regeneration, that's what I was...
Okay.
Yeah.
Constitution plus wisdom.
What? He just got healing.
I lost a hand.
Oh, Constitution. Oh,
Yeah.
madness
Yeah.
check. I thought he was doing
madness.
another death saving throw.
Constitution plus what?
Wisdom.
3
Jesus. Get new dice, my guy.
or 4.
You found them, and you are very deep down. They can put it back on. They'll be fine. But you believe the truth is, that's it. They can't.
Yeah.
There is a deep fear in you that is, you're done. No more loot. There's no action I need you to take. It is just something that Breeze has come to, in a panic, understand.
Could still play the bongos.
And that's the answer. Like, that squeaks out, and Breeze is just staring at his fingers in his other hand.
No, that Talos totally didn't say that because he doesn't know what he's thinking. So that wouldn't be a Talos thing to say. That was just me being...
No,
The room's really quiet?
Breeze is utterly silent. Not even a cry of pain, just complete silence with his kind of blank poker face look on his face.
Me as an octopus, I'm gonna make some ice and offer you ice for your fingers.
Like, I'll take ice, but you could see in his face that he's trying his hardest to rationalize and not just lose it right now. And he's starting to lose it.
The Paladin. Have you healed thyself?
Oh, I'm about to. We'll do 10. So I'll be back up to 11. I'll still have 5 for emergencies. And as I'm doing so, is Cass still just cracking up?
Slightly less so. Like, it's just kind of like snickering.
Are you sure you're all right?
I don't know.
Did I miss something in the temple? You didn't used to find this kind of thing so funny.
No, I didn't, did I? That's what makes it funny, isn't it?
As you say this, you turn around and you see walking out Breeze, missing most of his hand and holding his fingers in the other.
I lose it more. I just laughing hysterically. Just harder than before.
I am openly
Breeze
like
tackles
death
you.
glaring you right now.
Okay.
Breeze outright tackles you.
Athletics.
Man.
Say Tribute, while this is going on, I'm gonna try and with one tentacle tap you and with the other one point the belt.
Breeze bounces the fuck off.
21.
21.
2.
2.
1, actually. Because it's minus
Do
1
you
strength.
want to borrow some dice?
No. He's gonna,
When-
die, he's gonna die with these dice.
I admire that.
That's how I
when
feel.
Kaz is kind of looking over, he sees you turn and move, he goes, freeze! And when you turn, he gets your attention and he stops you from moving.
I just turn to him. I hold up my hand.
He covers his mouth.
Can the only
Like-
finger he has left be the middle one?
No,
I have no fingers.
Like, he covers his mouth in horror because he knows what that means for you. You've all come together, you're back by the carts. What do you do?
I want to take some time to personally, like, make sure it's bandaged so it doesn't get infected until we can get it fixed and all that.
Okay. I'll let you know a medicine check, or if there's any kind of magical means, you can start reattaching fingers.
Okay.
But they're gonna have to be reattached in, like, the next 24 hours, or
I have an
necro-
herbalism kit if that helps anything. I
that
don't
can
think it
help.
does. That-
Or necrosis takes him, and he loses them for good.
Is there any check I have to do to, like, bandage it up? Make sure
Medicine.
Okay. Proficient.
I use my last bardic inspiration.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna use my only inspiration to re-roll that, because I am not accepting a crit fail on this.
Ooh.
Refuse.
Here, I'll even.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me.
Roll
You need to
D6.
stop staying by her.
Go look at your smut.
Inspiration.
Okay, much better. That would be 22, 25, 28.
So as you start wrapping up his paw, you start looking. Like, you take a good look at where everything is missing from. And it still looks clean. It's bleeding, but the cure wounds has kind of cinched it up, kept that bleeding from being too serious. There is a medical confidence in you that they can be reattached.
I'm gonna tell him. I believe we could fix this.
He's gonna look at you. He's not gonna say anything. He's gonna look at you, and his eyes are gonna get big and water with just a glimmer.
Don't
of
do
hope.
that. I'm gonna cry.
No, that's literally what he does. If you say he could, so even a
Glimmer of
0.001% chance he could play again, he'll love you forever. Like, if you could do that, whatever, anything you ask.
No, when I say don't do that, you're gonna make me cry. I didn't mean Talos. I mean me, because I've been crying nonstop since the last month of this pregnancy. Cried at Starbucks today. Don't test me.
What do we have to do?
It's simple in a complicated way. Talos doesn't have a full understanding of it. And to be honest, the first time you've done it, that shit didn't work.
Yeah.
A hand with no fingers is not strange to you.
Yeah.
And these look clean. The curing, the magical health that you've restored has gone a long way to make this process easier. It is a matter of reattaching them by sewing them or by some sort of magical means. You have a good idea that the Jade Reef will be the place you want to go.
And we do have ice for the fingers, so does that
Yeah.
help?
You got an
the-
ice machine.
Does that help
It
at
helps.
all?
Yeah.
Okay. You said like 24 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
24 hours. You got about another 6
That
hours
was the first
to
thing
walk,
I as
so-
an octopus did, is offer to ice for swingers.
Before we go, I did want to check and see if these cocoons had any living people in them.
No, the cocoons are filled with various states of decay of humanoid corpses.
And I did want to bury them.
Okay, that'll take time, like a good amount of time.
That's why I was like, I don't know if I want to waste the time now, but
No.
I don't think we have the time
It's gonna.
Don't.
right now.
We don't.
It'll be a matter of taking them somewhere that they can be buried, because there's no clear ground.
okay. I'm gonna pile them together inside of the road.
Okay,
We can burn them.
Maybe. Well, that's true.
with the rest of the forest.
Yeah,
At
this
this
is not a
point,
good
that'll-
move.
yeah.
This is not a good fight. But
So we'll
It'll clear the path. Get rid of any other spiders.
Yeah.
so we'll say you proceed forward, just enough to get through this area.
you were a very strange druid.
Ocean, fuck the forest.
Yeah, exactly. I care about the water.
Do you want to take a short rest?
And I'm okay with not doing it.
I'm good.
Okay.
Let's just
Yeah.
press on.
You push the rest of the day, and by the time you have cut through this jungle and you come to this wide open grassland area, the sound of the ocean lapping against the shores of the island returns to you. The smell of salt air fills your nose. In front of you is these massive grasslands with acres and acres, seemingly miles on each end, of farmland. Small houses, people out there beginning to work to grow the harvest, to begin to bring it in this midsummer. You look forward and you see these massive walls with what looks like large pillars, inlays of jade against them. You look out from this distance, sitting outside one of the gates as you're coming down the road of the middle one. The massive walls stand about 30 feet high. Large portcullises are dropped down on the entrances, and you see there's a good amount of guards that are trying to direct people, these large groups. They seem to be farmers bringing produce in. These lines are fairly long, and as you begin to approach it a little bit more, you start catching this waft of the farm of cow dung, of just angry, smelly people who have been working on the farm all day.
Talos, you have all the paperwork. You have to go in the front.
Oh, it's true. I'll do it.
Breeze is going to be pressing in the front as fast as he can go.
As you
not running though.
As you come to approach these gates, you see somebody just kind of step out of line. And when this gentleman turns around, you see that he is dressed in a familiar wear that you had seen the bandits who had mugged you a few nights before. Mm-hmm. When he walks out and he sees you, he puts both of his hands up. And in one hand he has a letter. He says, I was instructed to give you this letter. I would be happy to read it.
Yes,
We can read.
I don't believe that's what he was implying.
Yes. We know you can read. We've seen you.
He unfolds it and he clears his throat. Dear assholes who tied me up and left me naked in the jungle. Over the years I've been a bandit, I've seen many people die by the hand of fate during chance encounters. Fellow thugs, innocent families, and the like. The time I've spent doing these things, I've done with understanding that I too will die by a chance encounter, and I've come to terms with that. I've made my peace, but the fate you have subjected me to, I cannot take. While left to the cruel fate of the woods, I woke from my deep stab wound to find the morning sun. Pushed down the cold night air from the trees. The pain of this wound, I understood, would be grievous, but not fatal. If I was to apply first aid after struggling free from my bonds, I certainly would survive. I stumbled into the light to assess the damage, but it was far worse than I imagined. It seems in the night, some creature had come by and bitten off my entire penis. I tried so hard to get to that. I have quit the Boiling Sea Gang in shame to live alone as a freak on a deserted island, a penisless freak.
Find an island for Unix, I'll be okay.
Huh, see, Breeze, and you thought you had it bad.
I'd rather be penisless and handless.
He continues, but not before sending a detailed description to the Great White about your presence on the island. Good luck. Yes, if you are not the adventurer spoke of in this letter, please return it to the courier in disregard.
But we're not quite adventurers.
Oh, shit. Forget it. And he just kind of like walks away.
Think that'll work?
Penisless freak.
Like I said, wrong adventurers. Yeah.
But you notice reading that, Cass doesn't crack a smile. Cass is just like, that happened. No. So, he walks away. He's very, kind of like, hands up, walks away. Disappears into this crowd. You're able to cut forward to the very front, and there is a guard. And he's kind of arguing with a farmer. and the farmer kind of steps in a bit too close, and he quickly just draws a long sword out, and the farmer backs up. Who wants to approach?
Yeah, I'll go.
Excellent, Talos.
Sets the papers.
Paperwork.
Am I interrupting at a bad time?
Says, yes, you are. Get back in line.
What?
I mean, we're next.
There's a line?
Well, you guys charge to the front.
Oh.
That's what I heard from.
Oh.
Is that what we're doing?
Well, I mean, we have less than so much hours to reattach certain body parts.
We actually need to be in the city urgently.
We have a medical emergency.
You got paperwork?
Yes.
Extends his hand.
Alright, I'm gonna offer it over.
Alright, he kind of looks at the paperwork. You have the medallion that was given to you by Berthin.
Yep.
He just kind of looks it all over. He shows it to his friend, and they nod. They actually sign a part of it, and they give it back.
Alright.
And he says, he kind of like looks around and looks at all of you, and he's, what's the Tabaxi doing here?
We need to reattach his fingers.
He's with us?
He just kind of looks over the hand, and
That is the medical emergency we spoke of.
and he looks over at Tribute and goes, Hellborn, why is she here?
She's actually one of our healers.
Why doesn't she do it?
Because we don't quite have the equipment.
Old Hellborn, why is he here?
He has the knowledge.
Look, we all helped with the job. We're all supposed to get paid here.
Yes.
He just kind of looks at all of you and steps aside. A large wooden door in the portcullis creaks open, and people just start yelling, furious that you're able to cut and still get in. You walk in.
I smile and wave.
You walk in from that center. As you go walking in, you see that in the center of town, there is a very large tower. It sits about 45 feet up. And as you kind of remember back to what the paperwork, to what the Jade Reef emblem is, it seems to be an image depiction of this particular tower that sits much higher than most every other building in town.
Is that the little octagon?
Right in the center. That's it. Around is a well-kept grass. Mm-hmm. And that kind of goes around it, that meets around these buildings, and kind of goes more into the center of town. You see that there are smooth cobblestone roads.
Okay.
And you see people obviously walking back and forth. There's a few carts. But you do notice one very, very strange particular thing. You do see people on their own moving on a strange bipedal contraption. On the front, there seems to be a large wheel.
Is it a Segway?
It seems to be, yes, they're on Segways now. In the front, there appears to be a large wooden wheel that has kind of a metal band in the middle that seems to hold it. There's one mirrored on the back. There is a metal frame with a seat and kind of a steering mechanism that is round, kind of like a port lock. Mm-hmm. You see people are still wobbling around, but there's a couple people more expertly moving throughout the city on these strange bipedal vehicles.
You might almost
Bruce
say
can do a
bicycle.
perception check to see if he can see anything that says doctor.
Yes, nearly bicycled.
They're 14.
14? From where you're at now, you don't see anything like that. What you do see around you, you see that there's that very large building there. That appears to be a theater.
Yeah, you can fix your fingers there.
No.
Across the way, against that wall, that box, that seems to be where guards are kind of moving in and out of. It looks to be a small place of respite for them. This larger building across the way, you see it looks to be this very nice kind of... it looks like an inn, but it sits almost 4 stories high, which is insanely large for what you've seen before. Across the way, you see there is a baker and a butcher right next door.
I'm going to walk
And the
that way.
candlestick maker?
Candlestick maker is right next door.
I'm going to walk towards the baker and the butcher.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk in and ask him, where's the nearest doctor?
Okay. Breeze walks away from you guys.
I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, same.
Okay. You take the carts over, and now I have a lot of what this is, but I don't have all of it. And specifically, I don't have names for everything. So we're going to be doing the naming convention in which we roll a dice and we pick the first and last part.
Hooray!
And I'm going to have somebody write it on the map.
Nice.
It's going to be up there forever.
I'm just laughing because that guy asked all those racist questions but didn't ask shit about the cannon.
Cannon or
About the person
water
made of
person?
water. I was just sitting here like, man, makes 2 comments about the Hellborns, but the fucking water genasi, which is a freak of nature
What's-
no one has ever
and
heard
they
of
What's,
before.
what's scary? A literal walking demon? Or just a blue person?
An elemental that's like a demon.
Listen, bad history with Tabaxi. The demons are just walking around.
I'm just laughing because, when we started this campaign, everyone was very hyper aware that Adela was the strange one, and then the further we go in, it's just kind of like
Everyone just gets weird.
Everyone just grows weird around her. Yeah. So first you see, you walk into this very large bakery.
Yeah, you probably have better handwriting than most of us.
Yeah, so you want me to write on there?
Let's name the bakery.
Who has a roll?
I will roll.
Rolling.
Okay. If anyone says if you got them, I'm going to hit you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, rolling in dough.
Rolling in dough?
Yeah.
Okay. So the butcher next to it, the butcher next to it is actually owned by the same person. So we're going to call that one the small building next to it. That'll be called Rollin' in Meat.
Ew.
DM privilege. It's called Rolling in Meat. You kind of storm into this bakery, and you see that it's fairly busy. But when you come up to the counter, you see that there is an elven woman who is just kind of broke away from conversation, seeing how disgruntled you are. She walks up to the counter. She says, "Can I help you?"
I'm new in town. Can you tell me where the nearest doctor is? Please.
Yes, of course. If you head up to the Upper Reef, near the Jade Council, that building there's a good place. There's a good hospital over there.
Which way is the Upper Reef?
That is going to be to the southeast.
Oh.
There?
Like this way?
That'll be that way. Yeah.
Okay.
I
In that
know
area.
which way's east.
Or if you're looking for something more affordable, you can head to the
The
south.
best doctor, please.
The southeast.
Southeast.
Yes. If
Thank
you speak
you.
at the Jade Council, they can help you.
Thank you.
They'll also
If-
pay you.
If all goes well, I will return.
Good.
And I'm gonna just run off.
I will buy bread. Only if I get my fingers back.
All right. So running out now, running across the quad there, just towards that. You guys?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. We're
Yeah.
following.
Yeah. I mean, we're going towards the Jade Reef anyway. Jade Reef's where
Jade
we get
Council,
paid.
yeah.
Okay. As you go running through, a little further up,
No.
go through that alley. That big building right there. Nope, down. That
big
one right
square.
there. Yes. As you kind of go running through, this is a lot of town to be running through. There's a pretty good dense population of people in that center. As it appears, there's kind of an open market. There's just a small group of musicians just sitting and playing. This kind of looks like a cultural center.
I hear the music and it brings tears to my eyes.
And you can still play bongos.
As you go running further through, you're starting to run out of steam after having a very exhausting day of walking.
I'm bleeding out.
You come up to these large buildings. The cobblestone here is now still smooth, but it seems to be more in larger chunks. It looks like they've been experimenting more with greater pieces for smoother transit. People are still walking around, but they seem to be dressed in finer clothes. The finer clothes here, they reflect the bright color that the jungle has to offer. So as you've seen, just kind of like whites and grays, some subtle greens, these are more brighter blues mixed with yellows and greens. Just a very, not neon, but it has a bright reflection. It reflects light when there's very little to be there. Being seen here seems to be important. It actually reflects your garb pretty well, but less full of blood and terror. For everyone else, you feel a bit underdressed. You move
I'm
through.
never underdressed.
Okay, fair point. The asked and received. Moving through, you come to this very large building where, Breeze, you are immediately stopped by a handful of guards.
Handful. Sorry.
They
I'm sorry.
like, as you come running in, they immediately pull up shields and draw swords and start marching towards you with a very directed demeanor.
Can I like step up next to him and be like, he just needs medical attention.
Head to the lower reef.
We can't receive attention here?
You got a recommendation?
No, but we are owed money by the Jade Council.
You got proof?
I'm gonna show the...
Takes the paperwork and he kind of thumbs through it. He kind of looks back over his friend, and his friend just kind of waves over to the other guards in the back, and they kind of drop their shields, and they point to the big building. You might head there first. There's a medic in there who'll take care of you.
Alright. We appreciate your help.
They walk with you back.
Okay.
You're let in, and you see this building. It's still fairly new. It's made out of solid blocks. The door in the front is made heavy and wide. It looks like a lot can kind of be brought through. It's solid. It doesn't look like it could be knocked through very well. There's a couple small spires in the top, but along the side, painted in a very neat hand, you see those same jade towers that you'd seen in the center of town. And kind of scrawled across, it says Jade Reef, just above this entranceway. As you go walking up, two guards come over and they start grabbing the donkeys for the carts. They mean to take them back if they are theirs.
Yeah, that's fine.
My cannon.
Where are we gonna buy one?
You own the cannon, but you don't own the donkeys.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna
Did
buy
we
it?
buy them?
Did we?
No,
Yeah.
we bought the cart.
Yeah, I believe we bought the cart.
We didn't buy the donkeys.
They tell you, we'll hold them here,
Okay.
discuss it inside.
We kind of have a time-sensitive situation, so I'm not quite worried about donkeys.
Leads you to the door. Going in, there's a receptionist sitting in the middle of this room. There's several doors around that seem just as big and heavy, but for a 5-foot doorway. They're all closed, and a couple people are just kind of meandering around. They're dressed in business attire, fine robes, and when you walk up, you see that there is an elderly elven woman, the dark skin that denotes her nativeness to this town, to this island. She looks up, and she just kind of squints her eyes, and she says, "And what can I help you with?"
Are you perhaps a medic?
"No, but I could fetch one."
I would greatly appreciate that.
As many would. What is your business here with the Jade Council?
We are reattaching fingers to this man's hand.
The Jade Council doesn't have time to reattach fingers for every sailor with a mangled hand. You may
We
find
did a
relief.
delivery for you that we needed payment for, and we also need a medic.
Paperwork?
I'm gonna hand it over.
She starts thumbing through it.
You know, this place seems more and more like home every day.
Same.
She starts thumbing through it, starts looking around, and she says, "Berthin
Yes.
says here that he has paid you 200 up front.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
You did not sign for the cards for purchase.
Mm-hmm.
There is a note in here from Elwyn that you may want to.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of them.
I can handle that. And you are owed a sum of 800 gold pieces.
Correct.
Where would you like that delivered?
I was hoping we could collect it while here.
We will have the amount, as it is large in size. We will have it for you ready tomorrow.
Okay.
Come back in the afternoon.
We do, until that time, do need a medic. We cannot wait till tomorrow for that.
She kind of waves someone over, and she says something to him, and he nods and he runs off. One shall be fetched promptly. I will need you to sign some documentation saying that you did receive a receipt for payment, which I will draw up, that you did drop off both carts that are in full health, donkeys also in full health, and if you wish to purchase one, we may discuss that now.
All right.
The cart will run you 75 gold pieces, and the beast of burden will run you another 40.
Are we all right with that?
Yeah.
It will be
Alright.
deducted from your total.
That is fair.
You may go out and take your pick of whatever cart you desire.
And preferably the one that my cannon is already in.
Do you have a license to bring a cannon in to the city? That is not aboard a ship. You will require a permit for that. The permit will cost 25 gold pieces. or your cannon will be confiscated.
Purchasing a permit.
Yep.
Yes, so.
The 25 gold pieces will be deducted from your subtotal.
It looks like all the numbers are starting to go over her head.
Breeze
I'm going
isn't
to-
listening to any of the numbers. He's waiting for the medic.
I'm going to sign all the papers, or hug blood and knuckles.
Not yet.
No? Oh.
Now, the medic you are seeking out, what is the nature of your emergency?
Reattaching fingers.
Show me the hand. Do you have all the fingers? The medical cost will run about 30 gold pieces. You will be returned 5 gold pieces if a finger cannot be attached.
Right.
That's cheaper than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, same.
Now, documentation fees. All of this getting in front of the Jade Council. And just general labor fees will cost another 5 gold pieces. And I believe that is enough.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
I'll just need you to sign this paperwork. She starts writing some stuff. She turns them over. You're able to sign. You had previously discussed talking to the Jade Council.
Yes.
Is it something you still want to pursue today?
Probably not today. Today's focus is
Okay.
reattaching fingers.
We'll talk to them when we pick up money tomorrow.
The guy comes back and he stands and he says, "Who needed the attention? Tell to me."
Hold up your stump.
I'm gonna go with him just
Okay.
because I don't feel comfortable leaving him alone.
That's fine. So you're able to walk off with him, and she looks to the rest of you and says, "Do you have business more?
Waiting on him.
Just want to make sure he's okay.
I'll send him your way when he's done."
All right.
I'm going to leave this building.
Before you get charged more money.
Pretty much.
There is a loitering
There's a
fee.
standing fee.
There's a use of waiting room fee.
Do you want me to label hospital or anything? That's
Go ahead in that box. Write that as the Jade Council.
oh, this one right here?
Yes.
Okay.
So is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you kind of go stumbling outside. You were able to choose your cart with the cannon. The guards release it to you, and you're at the end of the afternoon going into the evening. Should you want to kind of walk around town? Oh, roll me a perception check, Adela.
Now we have to stable that donkey somewhere.
And feed it.
We have beef jerky. 13.
As you're walking out, and as you're kind of walking more towards town, you turn around, and you see beyond these large walls what looks like familiar spires. And
Label that Dream Palace.
don't label it that. Don't label it that. It's going to be a lot of misconceptions about what that is. Being called a dream palace.
Barbie's dream house.
Yeah, Barbie's dream palace.
It's Adela's Dream Palace.
Yes.
It's Adela's rest.
So, you're kind of let go back into town. What do you want to do?
I want to talk to Tribute.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. But
I want to go wander towards that building.
Okay.
Tribute. How do you make everything stop being funny? Like, I don't know, whenever something serious happens, it's just hilarious. I don't know how to make it stop now.
Do you roll perception check?
I'm proficient in those. It's a 14.
14. As Cass is telling you this, as Cass is kind of unburdening herself, just your eyes just kind of focus beyond her, and there's a large sign that says "Now playing Burning Passion."
I like that you're having a real moment. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Everything's funny and I want it to stop being funny.
When did things start being funny?
After the temple?
Tribute's gonna think really hard for a minute. That happened half a day ago, or however long it took us to walk here. But Adela was trying to get my attention, pointing to the weird belt that Cass now has, that I don't know where it came from, but it's new, and so is this laughing thing.
That's it. Roll me an intelligence check with disadvantage. Something else is weighing on your mind heavily.
The 14.
All right, yeah. You're able to kind of push that aside and start connecting some dots.
Thank you, Dice. I was really afraid of the critical failure. Cass, where did you get that gold belt?
The temple?
Have you maybe considered the possibility that it might somehow be cursed?
It did talk to me.
That it's definitely cursed. Why don't you try and take it off?
I'm gonna try to take it. It doesn't come off.
It's not that it doesn't come off. When you go to reach down, your thoughts intrude and says, if you pull, the garden will die, and it will bear no fruit.
I don't want to take it off.
Well, do you want to be tackled by someone else again when you laugh at their lack of fingers?
No.
Maybe we should try and take the belt off.
But the garden.
The what?
The garden. I don't want it to die.
Cass, there's no garden.
Yes, there is.
There's this. It's a belt.
She is trying to poison the garden.
Oh my god!
She will take the fruit of our labors, and we will be left with nothing. She must be stopped.
You know what? Never mind.
Good call. Good job. Solid work.
I don't think this is a never mind kind of situation.
No, it's. I mean, what's a few dark situations, laughter can brighten it up, right?
I don't think that's how Breeze sees it. You maybe should apologize to him.
That's all I do, though.
I'm tired of apologizing. I'm tired of being responsible for my actions.
Well, sometimes when you mess up,
Which is all the time. Maybe this garden is the one thing I won't mess up.
what garden? What, Cass? What garden?
No, I don't want to. No. Never mind.
There's cobblestone here.
Oh, what?
There's no flowers
Just
here.
shouting, just kind of apropos of nothing. Kaz just goes, hey, Tribute, your porn book is a play. Should we get tickets? And he kind of starts thumbing through, and he goes, I'm gonna get a ticket. And he walks away.
Tribute looks like she really wants to go with him.
Go. You can go to your play. I mean, this belt's not going anywhere.
But maybe it should. Have you considered?
No. I mean, it's mine, so maybe I won't mess up this time. Maybe this is. I won't. I'm always messing up, Tribute. Have you seen me?
She's a wreck.
You also haven't messed up a lot. I mean,
People died.
She
A
starts.
lot of people have died. Mazhog died. Addie died.
well, one of those things isn't a problem, but
I just want Talos to be there so he can be really sad thinking you're talking about his mom.
Hey, I liked Addie.
As she turns and walks away.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let's take a snapshot of where everyone is at. Standing at this corner, Tribute and Cass are having a very one-sided argument. Adela is walking past this building that is the Jade Council to the largest set of gates. The portcullis raised up behind an ancient familiar temple from a dream perhaps she had the night previous. In front of her is a very long line and two elves wearing nice garb who are holding a sign that says, you go around, you see stuff.
Tours.
Big sign that says tours. toward the ancient temple of our people. Talos and Breeze are sitting on a table, and Breeze is kind of sitting, trying to keep himself together as he watches this stranger pull out a razor and shave his fingers.
that's not funny, but it's funny.
I'm gonna have my hand on his shoulder, kind of like support.
Shaving the fingers makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Oh, yeah.
like, what this guy looks very professional.
Mm-hmm.
Native elf. He comes over and he's kind of whipping up some shaving cream and starts undoing the bandages. He compliments you.
Oh, on the bandaging?
Yes.
Nice.
he looks to you, Breeze,
Pat
and
on the back.
and he says, "You're not going to be playing soon, but you'll be playing again."
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
Told
And then he kind of reaches under the table and he pulls out this gnarled piece of wood and he goes, "Put this in your mouth."
Oh god.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna grit his teeth.
Talos closes his eyes and nods. Yep.
Yeah, this part doesn't. Yeah,
Yep.
this is normal.
Yeah, he's gonna grit his teeth. He's gonna reach out for Talos' hand.
I'll take it.
He's gonna hold his hand.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when he starts, he's just gonna squeeze.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nikos, what do? You have this. You have, for the first time, a local city.
That you said reminds you of home.
bureaucracy.
That was not in a good way.
Yeah, I know.
I am going to, I think Nikos is going to, he is going to, we haven't gotten our payment yet, and I don't have any money on me.
Oh, you should have told me. I would have given you money.
About I don't know how much a play ticket's gonna cost.
Yeah.
You might not have money, but you do have the time to kind of walk around the city. Where you stand now, you stand just outside of the upper reef. Where you stand in the middle is known as the center reef. And if you go straight south, those are the docks. If you go to the west, that is known as the lower reef.
Mm-hmm.
That is where a lot of the local workers and dockhands live. It's more of a rundown area.
I'm gonna try and find an instrument shop. I'm gonna go looking for a viol.
Okay. All right. Do you want to search the upper reef, lower reef?
I'm gonna start with the upper reef.
Excellent. As Nikos begins to walk around trying to find a high-end music shop, we have just entered the Jade Reef. You plan the next day to talk to the Jade Council about trying to help them with the Boiling Sea Gang. A lot of money is coming your way.
Less than there could have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to make the city together and see if you burn it to the ground.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Might
So-
just drown it.
2 Fridays from now, that's where we'll come back.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you have any questions or want to talk about your favorite part of the campaign so far, you can find us on Twitter at Quips and Crits or at Quips and Crits on Facebook. And make sure you rate and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to. But check out our Tumblr or Reddit for character profiles, maps, essays, and just a bunch of other shit from the... Ooh, I swore. And a bunch of other stuff from the cast. Today's music is brought to you by Leon Lischner and friends, and Dennis Murphy's Polka. Links in description.
My long white robe, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside.